Welcome back, Pokemon fans. Angel of the Night 091 here. We are back with another competition. As you guys know, the 2024 Global Challenge has just begun. We are going to take a look at the team that we've actually set aside for this here, and I have created a rental code for you guys down below. Go ahead and check that out. It'll give the full effort value spread of the entire team. We've got ourselves a good old Gouging Fire, Basculegion, Incineroar, Farigiraf, Ogerpon, and Ursaluna. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Corey, this is a very OU team for you to be using. And you know what? It is. I did a lot of different matches in the Blueberry Prologue, and I'm going to be honest with you, there were so many different Pokemon in that battle that I just had to try some of them out, and I came across this team from VGC Pasties. If we take a look here, we've got ourselves Gouging Fire. Gouging Fire, of course, has a Tera type of fire, has the booster energy, and if we take a look at the attacks here, it's got the Burning Bulwark, Howl, Breaking Swipe, and Temper Flare. Now, if you take a look at the rest of the team, the Howl in a double battle, if you use Howl with the Gouging Fire, it's going to boost the attack stat of both Pokemon in the party that are on the field. So I'm going to probably pair this up quite a bit with Incineroar, maybe even the Ogerpon. I have not yet quite seen the need to pair it up with our next Pokemon. Now, if we take a look at this one here, we've got with us a Basculegion. Now, Basculegion, a very different item to have onto it here. We've decided to go with the Assault Vest, basically allowing it to boost up some special defensive values. If we take a look at the actual Pokemon here, we've got Wave Crash, Last Respects, obviously. You cannot have a Basculegion without Last Respects. There's Aqua Jet, and as well there's also Phantom Force, and as you can see, it's got the ability of Adaptability. Now that one there actually powers up moves of the same type as the Pokemon, so obviously we're going to have Ghost and Water type moves. So we've got this all set here for Basculegion. Tera type of grass, of course, just in case there's any kind of spooky electric type Pokemon that threaten our waterfish. Next Pokemon we've got with us, obviously, the GOAT, Incineroar. Now, I did decide to go with the Tera Grass onto this one here as well, just because of those pesky water type and ground type Pokemon. So we've also got, obviously, the Citrus Berry, as you guys can see here, and it's got the Intimidate ability, which is actually going to be able to drop the attack stat of the Pokemon when it comes into play. Fake Out, Parting Shot, Knockoff, Flare Blitz is obviously the standard, and we have made no exceptions there. Now, if you do take a look at it, its speed stat is a little bit lower, and we've also boosted up a little bit more in the defensive category, so I'm hoping that might actually help pay off just a little bit when taking some hits. Next Pokemon is a very odd and unusual Pokemon for me. I didn't actually get the opportunity to use this Pokemon very often, except for very early on in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I did have it on my team, and that is going to be the Farigiraf. So if we take a look at Farigiraf here, it's got the Fairy Tera type, and of course we've gone for the Safety Goggles. If you guys don't know what Safety Goggles are, it is an item to be held by a Pokemon. These goggles protect the holder from both sandstorm, damage, and the effects of powders and spores. Obviously, quite important. A lot of what you're going to see when I was doing practice battles is you're going to see some Amoonguss come into play, and we do not want to take any damage from spores or powders, and as well, we also don't want to have any sandstorm damage, because you know you are going to see some Tyrannitars and Excadrills come back into play, very Gen 5. But maybe that's what the creators of Pokemon were looking for, seeing as how they're leading up towards a Gen 5 remake, but that's neither here or there. Next is the stats. As you guys can see here, we're primarily focusing on our special attack. We have actually dropped our speed quite a bit, and we've got Armor Tail as the ability. Now, if you guys don't know what Armor Tail is, I'm going to be honest with you, I did not realize until that Blueberry prologue just how important this Pokemon is with this ability. The mysterious tail covering the Pokemon's head makes opponents unable to use priority moves against Pokemon or its allies. So basically, if someone comes in like an Incineroar and goes for the fake out, he ain't getting that fake out. Dragonite comes in with an extreme speed, he's not getting that extreme speed. So I think this Farigiraf is going to be quite helpful. Plus, with the ability to set up the Trick Room, a Nasty Plot, and some Dazzle, it's going to be quite helpful. It's proven to be quite helpful in my practice matches. Next up, we've got ourselves Ogerpon. Now, as you guys know, I love the Cornerstone Ogerpon. Unfortunately, there was no way for me to really bring it in this situation. I needed Ogerpon, just the pure grass type. And that's exactly what we did here. We decided to give it the Focus Sash. We did not give it any other held item for that. Reason being is that it is going to be a bit frail outside of using the Spiky Shield. So that is going to be helpful for us to have. It does have Defiant, so I figured to myself, why not keep Defiant as the ability instead of going for a Tera change, getting some type of boosts. There's too many Intimidators in VGC that will allow me to benefit from their Intimidates. As you guys can see here, we're focusing primarily on the attack stat, and we've got the Ivy, Sigil, Stomping Tantrum, Follow Me, and the Spiky Shield. So obviously the Follow Me is to distract our opponents. The Spiky Shield is in order to get some chip damage if a Pokemon decides to attack our Protect. And last but not least, we've got the big old scary bear that everybody seems to talk about is Ursaluna, the Blood Moon Beast. Now, of course, we've got the Life Orb onto it here, and we've got the Tera type of normal. Reason being is that if we actually take a look at the actual moves, Hyper Voice and Blood Moon are two of the bigger signature moves. We've got Earth Power. Obviously, we needed a little bit of ground coverage, and of course, some Protect there. Obviously, Protect is obviously a good thing to have in VGC, and I see no reason not to have it here in this situation. Now, if we take a look at the ability in his Mind's Eye, the Pokemon ignores changes to opponents' evasiveness. Its accuracy can't be lowered, and it can hit ghost types with normal and fighting type moves. So let's say someone brings in a Basculegion, a Gengar, something ghost type related, we can hit it with our normal type moves like Blood Moon or Hyper Voice. That's going to be good to know when we go up against some good old Fluttermanes. Now, with that being said, that is the team. They are all registered and locked in. So you know what, guys? I think it is time for us to actually jump into our next battle. So let's go to online competitions, and we've already got the team registered. Now, I'm not going to be marking down in a notepad this time. You guys aren't going to hear any clickety clicks. We are just going to focus primarily on the matches, and we will tally them up all later on. So we are in the Masters Division, of course, and this plays through from tonight all the way until February 4th at 1959. We start off with a 1500 rating. And let's just jump right in here, guys. We are going to get things going. So, one thing that I usually tend to lead off with here, we usually go with the Farigiraf and the Incineroar. Sometimes I'll go with the Gouging Fire and the Incineroar combo as well. Now, if we take a look at our opponent here has a Landorus, a Fluttermane, a Ursaluna. They've got with them an Urshifu. Now, we don't know what Urshifu they have yet, whether it is the Dark or the Water. There is the Water Ogerpon and Farigiraf. Had to think there for a minute. I'm like, did we already talk about Farigiraf or did we not? But you know what? We are going to choose our own Farigiraf here. I don't know what to expect, but I think I'm going to go with the Incineroar. And then, of course, I think maybe perhaps the Ogerpon. And I think maybe the Ursaluna. Although, Basculegion looks pretty fun here. Basculegion might be able to take the Landorus and as well even the opponent's Ursaluna. If I went for the Tera type, I would be able to block any kind of water type moves that come in from the Ogerpon, but decisions. He does have a fighting type there, and that could prove to be a problem. But we're going to give this a go. We're going to go with Ursaluna, and let's jump into the battle. All right, here we go, guys. I'm super pumped up. We are getting into day 1 matches. I've been excited for this ever since they announced it, and it's just going to be super, super fun, I believe. Okay, first thing we're going to see here, we're going to get the Intimidate off onto the opponent's Ogerpon as well as their Landorus, and we are going to go for the Trick Room. Think here for a second. Yes, Trick Room. And we are going to go for the Fake Out onto the Landorus, I think. I'm not too concerned about the Ogerpon. It's been proven that Incineroar can actually survive a hit on my practice battles. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to survive here in this situation. Now, worst case scenario, we get hit by an Ivy Sigil. There's the Follow Me. Thankfully, that is one thing with Ogerpon that we're seeing a lot of lately is the good old Follow Me, and of course, you know, the Spiky Shield. Now, obviously, we're doing the exact same tactic, but with a different Ogerpon, but that is all fine and dandy. Let's go for the... I'm gonna go for the Dazzling Gleam here, and then I'm going to go for the Tera Grass. I'm going to go for the knockoff onto the Ogerpon. Now, the reason why we're going to go for the Tera Grass here, ooh, that actually might not have been a great idea, depending on if that Landorus has the flying type move that hits twice. What is it called? Bleak Wind Storm, is it? Or is there an alternative for that Landorus? I can't remember what it's called, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It is a weather type move. Well, it doesn't really set up weather, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It's the weather. Ooh, that is fantastic. That knockoff is going to hurt that Farigiraf like there is no tomorrow. So here we go, guys. We are going for that Tera Grass. And I'm really hoping that this is going to work out. Here's the Dazzling Gleam. That hits both of the opponent's Pokemon. Here's the knockoff. Ho-ho! Right down into that red zone. Getting that good old citrus berry knocked off there. There is the attack. I actually missed what it was called because I was too excited about the knockoff. If you guys saw what it was called, drop your comments down below. And we are going to go for another Dazzle here. And we are going to go for the knockoff onto that Landorus. I'm really surprised that we actually survived that move with our Incineroar. Actually, quite surprised. Considering it's, I believe, a flying type move, it should have taken me out. Now, if it wasn't a flying type move and I'm wrong, well, that's just prime. All right, here we go. He's going to withdraw the Landorus. Probably a good idea for him because we are targeting him here this turn. And he's going to come in with his Blood Moon Beast. Oh, here's the Dazzling Gleam taking out that Farigiraf. Oh, that is good. That is good. But you know why he swapped out the Landorus? He wants to get the Intimidate off here in the next turn. He's probably going to bring it in to be able to drop the attack stat of the Incineroar. That's my prediction anyways. Seems to always be the case. Everybody hating on... Oh, he didn't! He went for the Ogerpon. Oh, buddy. That is nutty. I'm surprised he didn't go for the Intimidate. Okay. Let's go for... I'm still going to go for the knockoff here. I got to play into the knockoff. I have a feeling they're going to go for Spiky Shield. They know I'm going to be able to attack first, so why not go for that? I do like that mask though, it's kind of cool, but it doesn't beat the Cornerstone. Is it Cornerstone or Cobblestone? Ugh, I'm a terrible Ogerpon fan. The Rock one. Okay, Blood Moon. Okay, he actually was able to attack first because the Ursalunas are designed to be in Trick Room. Okay, here we go, knockoff. Oh, I really wish that worked more. Here's the Ivy Sigil. And Farigiraf is down. Now, normally I probably would have tried to get a nasty plot in there at some point, but it's okay. Let's go in with our own Ursaluna. Now, if I go for the Hyper Voice, I can hit the 2 Pokemon, but do we have Trick Room still up? Let's take a look. Trick Room, one more turn. They're gonna go for a Protect of some kind here. They've got to. Incineroar. Let's go for the knockoff onto the Ogre Pawn. But will it be enough? That is going to be the big question here. Will it be enough to get that Ogre Pawn out of here? Pesky old Ogre Pawns. Alright guys, so as we are waiting here for our opponent to choose a move, yep, there's the spiky shield. As you guys can tell, my microphone is back onto camera here. I ended up finding some settings that I used to use back when I was streaming, and I decided to bust out Adobe Audition, and I decided to move my microphone a little bit closer to me. And the reason being is that I found when I was editing a lot of my previous videos, it actually had sounded a little bit further away, and I had to do a lot of adjusting to the audio. And then I had to set specific presets, and it was just one of those things that I was like, I gotta fix the audio quality. Now, it's funny because I was looking... Oh, he doesn't have Intimidate on his Landorus. Interesting. Okay, let's go for the Protect here. So yeah, I was on Twitter, and I was looking at some posts that Just Weavile shared. And he was talking about microphones and microphone settings. And I don't know what it was, but it just clicked with me. And I'm like, wait a minute. I found a tutorial from way back when, back in 2015, 2016, how to input your mic with Audacity, Adobe Audacity, and output with a virtual line. And I found this awesome preset, and sure enough, I still had all my settings and all my modifications, so I figured I'd fine-tune it a little bit there before the tournament, and that's why I'm only starting at 10 o'clock at night here. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think about the actual audio. He's gone in for the Tera on Ogerpon. That is obviously a pretty smart play. We've gone for the Protect here. Sludge Bomb, unfortunately, is taking out the Landorus. I've only seen one other Landorus to have Sludge Bomb, so that's kind of interesting here. They're going to go for the Ivy Sigil, but of course we've gone for the Protect. And the last Pokemon that we actually have here is our own Ogerpon. Now, I could do one of two things. I could go for the Blood Moon and target a specific Pokemon, try to take it out. Or I could go for the Hyper Voice, guarantee that I can hit 2 Pokemon, but with the Ogerpon, go for the Ivy Sigil. Now, I don't know if I could actually take out their Ogerpon. If I can actually get out and speed out ahead of it, I might be able to get it, but I'm definitely fearing the Landorus a little bit here. If the Ogerpon goes for the Ivy Sigil, then the next turn I should go for my Spiky Shield. But we might actually get knocked out by Landorus if he gets a real decent hit with his Sludge Bomb. So it's really all up in the air at this point. I know right now, though, that I'm actually slower than the Landorus with Blood Moon Beast. We got a Focus Sash specifically for this reason. Here we go with the Ivy Sigil. Ho ho ho! That is awesome. Down goes that Ogerpon like there is no tomorrow. Take that jelly and spread it on your toasties, good sir. Hyper Voice, yes! Yes! First win! Oh, that is super sick. We actually managed to pull off a victory first time in a tournament. Ha! That's pretty rad, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty pumped up. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What you guys think about the audio quality. What do you think more about that battle? Did I play it the proper way? Who knows? You guys tell me. I don't use Trick Room that often. So take care. Have a good one, guys. And as always, peace out.